FPS.
Yeah, I mean, is it coming in delayed on the chat too?
It doesn't show in this chat until the dice done rolling, and the dice taking forever.
That's the same for everyone else.
Yeah, that's how it always works because it doesn't spoiler. But the die is taking absolutely forever to roll because it's rolling at actually 1 FPS.
At least you get the
like,
tension.
It's like 4 FPS. It's not that bad.
Well, we can't see any higher than 5, so.
Him and I can only see 5 FPS.
You fucking nerds. I didn't know that stuff.
That's not. God damn it! You. God damn it, shouldn't you?
I think you just one upped you.
Oh, it hurts. All right, chat. Welcome back. So something just spontaneously and permanently broke inside Google Chrome. So I'm gonna ask. We're gonna have a poll real quick. Do we want all the dice rolls to happen at 1 FPS? Or do we want to turn off the 3D dice for the rest of the stream? Because I will hopefully be able to fix this before next week. But for the rest of this stream, do we want to have 1 FPS dice rolls? Or do we want to just turn off the 3D dice entirely? I don't know. I literally didn't do anything. I was just sitting here playing, and then it broke forever. And
sounds like a story you made up for the police.
Doesn't work anymore.
You clear the cache?
What coming at me with saying words like I know what they mean? What does that mean?
Just reinstall Windows. It fixes everything, even though it doesn't. Big fan.
Is that in settings?
What, reinstall Windows?
Don't know exactly where it is in Chrome.
Nice. Good one.
I've been drinking. I'm not responsible.
Mullen's actions.
Let's see. Let me try that real quick, because that sounds like a good idea. That sounds like something logical to me. More tools. Oh, it's
my
under
Firefox
clear.
has issues with it on my
It's under
desktop.
clear browsing data is where it lives. And
I
then
found that if you stop downloading porn in the background, it helps a lot too.
Well, who the fuck downloads porn?
Hey, you gotta build your collection.
Well, I mean, technically everybody kind of does because the browser works, but you know.
No, I do for the rainy days where like the internet might be out.
I can't deny it. I do. I have.
You gotta have a vault in case the apocalypse happens.
Exactly.
Well, if the apocalypse happens, you don't need porn because there's no laws. You just rape people.
All right, somebody roll. Okay.
It got dark real fucking fast.
Yeah, here you go, buddy.
Oh, what, right?
Roll out, done.
Oh, right.
Cache clearing didn't help.
Feels bad.
Temporary internet files. Or
so, chat, do you want that, or do you just want 3D dice turned off? Because it's going to take me some time to fix this. I don't know how to do it. Clearing the cache didn't work.
Where is she? I was about to say, where is she? Where is the other,
Chrome
the
has just well and truly snapped.
Woo and Mew is really similar, isn't it?
What'd you say?
Woo and Mew.
Yeah, Woo and Mew, like, phonetically.
Woo and Mew? What?
Yeah, like, never mind.
I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Never mind.
All right, sadness feels like 3D.
He's trying to make a joke that's really bad.
No, I wasn't.
And I just wouldn't let him do it.
No, I wasn't making a joke. I was not making a joke. I accidentally said Shinmu instead of Hexilu.
Oh, that's you should.
Yeah,
some of these people they spell my name bad. Believe
like,
me, you can't top
no,
it.
it's like that was what I meant. Like, it's just Mew and Woo is close phonetically, so I said the wrong thing.
It is.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at this obelisk. Did we say we're
He's done. We're done with it. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I just read chat. I'm sorry.
just continuing onward?
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Continuing
I got
journey?
a
right, no,
22.
we were at the survival check is what we were. Yeah, we went to the next day.
I got a 22 because I forgot to add my boots.
You got 22. What did Gratian get?
20. 17?
Something less. I know.
Yeah,
I
his is better.
Okay. As you look around, you find it still odd that you've come 3 full days travel into the parched lands, and other than this corpse that had only been there for a few days, and the obelisk with the writing on them, you have seen no sign of life. no sign of a like animal or really sentient creature life anyway. But here, when you get into this rocky crags and everything is less buried into the depths of sands, you can just barely make out some bits of plant life. And it's not perception, really, because it's not like cacti or anything big and obvious. It almost blends into the rock itself, and if you didn't know any better, even if you saw it, you wouldn't think it plants. But it's something. But it still strikes you as odd you've seen no other sign of these Gertablilu or the ash giants, or really anything other than one corpse and some desert mites.
How large is a desert mite?
Tiny, like a
It
speck.
might be big.
Oh my
Stop,
god.
you
No.
can't just do the same one twice.
Yes, I can. Clearly.
I mean, if it's big
curious.
enough to see, it's got to be pretty goddamn big.
Yeah,
like,
again, out of curiosity, the body of the Gertablilu is pretty large, right?
Yes. Like
Yeah,
it
then
would
we
be
can see
it would
these
be
things
large
crawling over
size,
and,
like
Literally
well, I mean,
large.
you could yeah, it's literally large. They're incredibly tiny. Like they're mites that, like, if you just glance at the Goethe, you wouldn't see anything.
Oh, we only
But
see it
if
because
you were looking
Larkin's
over it and
here.
like literally heel checking, well, I mean, he was heel checking, literally inspecting it to try and figure out how long it'd been here. You noticed little swarms of these mites that are just barely visible,
Okay.
crawling around its wound and its eyes. Well, where its
oh,
eyes
it's
used to be.
horrifying.
Those are definitely gone now.
Yeah, so we probably want to get on the road.
So
Yeah, no, I need to get the fuck out of this place.
you
The road, Jack.
continue forward for the rest of the third day. Through the crags and rocks, seeing nothing else of interest. It's somewhat difficult to find a decent spot to camp, as most of the area here is not flat, and what is just stone. But you find somewhere to post up, cast Grove of Respite, and put down your tents for the evening. More sheltered than you have been the previous few days, again, because you're inside all these rocky outcroppings. On the fourth day, it transitions from spikes and crags to flats and mesas, large and sprawling. And it's less geography coming up out of the ground as it is going down into the ground, because again, they're canvassed and covered with these various ancient riverbeds that have once carved through the stone and still thin sand. Everything's mostly rock, but it seems like you're in the kind of environment now where you should have to be coming up upon this first landmark soon. Just a sheer wall of stone, nearly 100 feet high, with a deep canyon through which to pass. And then you're due to turn to the southeast. But as the day passes, you see no signs of any great walls of stone ahead of you and wonder if perhaps you've gone the wrong way or you're walking on the wrong level. Gray should make a perception check because nobody else matters.
Oh.
I mean, let's not pretend him
Ouch.
getting a 1 is lower than the rest of you getting a 20.
Yeah, I had to walk away for a second, by the way, and I unmuted right when you said that, and it's like perfect timing.
So, you near the end of the afternoon, as the sun is starting to set in the distance, what has to be a few miles off, it's difficult to judge. You see two people. Two people on a very distant outcropping of rock that appear to just be standing there. From this distance, you can't even tell what direction they're facing, but they're there. From this distance, you can't even be 100% sure it's people and not more carvings.
Which kind of creepy.
What do you see?
You people?
What do you mean, you people?
What? Not you.
Is Discord dying, or is like everybody lagging out?
I think that's on you.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Yeah, sounds alright to me.
Today's
Okay.
great.
Everybody's
Yeah.
robots. I hope it'll clear itself up. I'm not dropping frames or anything, but
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe sounds fine.
Yeah, 'cause
We're
you're
on the same internet.
Yeah. They sound like robots to you, Joe?
Oh, they did for a second, but now it seems fine.
Yeah, I think it might have passed actually.
Gratian, you want a little extra help taking a closer look?
Yeah, if you want to. That's up to you.
And I will cast Acute Senses on you if you want to try to look as hard as you can.
Are they just standing there? Are they moving at all?
Just standing there.
Yeah, I'll take it and try and take a real close look. We don't have to have like a spyglass or like anything on any of us, do we?
We have a
Nice.
spell for plus 20 perception. So
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but it doesn't zoom my fucking eyes in though.
Zoom in your eyes.
Change the magnification.
No, I don't believe you do now.
Nah, it's fucking, that's something I should have bought. I just never thought about it, but yeah. Yeah,
Such
I mean,
as life.
I'll take it.
all right. I will cast Acute Senses on him and probably trip out his world.
Just
You
zoom in,
start
right?
seeing into other dimensions and shit.
No, seriously, I'll see the fucking fabric of reality. This is gonna be awesome.
So you cast Acute Senses. And,
Can I take
you-
20?
Yeah, you can take 20 to just stand there and look.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you just like, you literally just stand there and peer for a few minutes, you can definitely do
Does
that.
acute senses last that
And-
long?
Minute per level, I believe, so
So yep.
13 minutes.
I mean, I figured there's any time to take a
See,
second, and people
forever.
looking out is probably a good time to try and make sure nothing weird's going on. I mean, something weird is absolutely going on, but you know, judge the weirdness
So-
level.
You take 20 and you stand there and you spend some time looking at these two figures. It's difficult to see anything more than the basic of it is, in fact, two figures. Between the great distance at which you're seeing them and just the distortion from the heat, it's like you're just staring at two wavering shapes. And in fact, with this improvement to your vision, you're even less sure that these are actually humanoid figures, and they could possibly just be vertical outcroppings of rock, and it's just a trick of the light in the distance, and perhaps your own paranoia that made it look like anything else. Until they start moving. And as you watch the two figures turn and start to move, and as they do within 30 seconds, they've dropped down out of your field of view, down into one of the many infinite crags and valleys here, or just simply beyond the range of your vision. In these conditions, you're unsure. But you are at least positive that whatever they are, they're two living people.
That's
Is he
not
sure
creepy at
they're
all.
people, or...
He wasn't even sure
All
they were
one
real
knows.
until they moved.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled. In case of
just thinking, are these people, or are these giants, or are these scorpions?
Pretty
Well, they look
much
like they had
anyone would be
legs,
dead.
so they don't look like they're Gertablilu, at least.
I mean, from this far, can I judge their size literally at all?
No,
No, not even a little bit.
maybe 30 foot tall for all you know.
Well,
Because of the heat haze in the distance, you can't even be sure of the distance. It could be two truly monolithic titans 20 miles away, or two dwarves 3 miles away. There's no real gauge of distance. They're just hazy shapes on the horizon.
I think you just confirmed a flat earthers, my friend.
So you continuing?
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
trying to keep my eyes
I'm,
peeled in case there's anything else like that. Unless one of
I
them wants
would
to turn into
like-
a bird or something.
I don't want to do that. I would take this opportunity. I think I'm gonna cast Hunter's Blessing on everybody and give everyone favored terrain desert. And I guess I'll pick. Is giant a subtype for?
Yeah, I believe it is, yeah.
Okay, Favorite enemy giant, favorite terrain, desert.
Okay.
Just in
How
case.
how long does that last?
13 hours.
All
All right, so favorite terrain desert surely is not going to be harmful, and favorite enemy giant could be useful should these creatures in fact be giants and be unfriendly. But other than Cornel's magic, there's not a whole lot else you can do other than press onwards. Surely your camels are making much better headways on these flat mesas than they were trying to work their way through the mountains the day prior, and you make good progress with the rest of your 4th day. But eventually, you reach a point where you must rest for the night. And with a grove of respite and tents, you pitch up once again. You wake up the next morning with an unshakable feeling of uncertainty. You've been journeying for 4 days. Admittedly, through the desert, you've probably only covered a few dozen miles, but still, the fact that you've seen nothing is unsettling at best, and you can't help but wonder if you're still going the correct direction. Kaklatath has been silent for the journey so far, providing nothing but the briefest answers to only direct questions. It's unsettling. But do you just continue pressing south? And trust in the guidance you got from Aki and your own sense of direction?
Yeah, I mean, we have our wayfinders. We got these directions. Got nothing else, so.
As long as we're sure we're still on the right path. She's not saying anything, but
Like, we can easily just, like, figure out which way is actually south.
Yeah, you all have
Yeah, I mean,
wayfinders.
it's
Like,
right.
Yeah.
they're compasses. It's very easy for you to stay going south. That's not difficult at all.
It's also like DC 10 survival or something.
Yeah, it's a super low survival check.
Then, yeah, best bet's probably just continue on.
Fair enough. Continue on we shall. You continue to trek to the south, hoping that you will come into something. You will get some sign that you're on the right path, some hint of at least a landmark. But you all hope, at least to some degree, that you'll find the city of Neruzavin itself and be freed from this endless trudge. But the 5th day passes uneventfully as the morning passes into the afternoon. But then, finally, mid-afternoon, past the hottest part of the desert's day, but long before it's become comfortable, you come to a great plateau that rises what has to be 80 feet above you in the distance, just a few miles off. And it looks not like a single plateau, but like it was two, split in half by a crag down the middle that from this distance looks like a hairline crack, but you know it must be nearly 100 feet in width. This has to be the valley that Aki's directions were leading to.
That's relief.
So, relieved
Finally.
indeed, you head towards the crag, and within an hour, you've reached the foot of this towering plateau. You've little choice with these camels, and with the scant instructions you have, but to head down the center of this wide valley itself, which seems as though it was, if carved naturally, it must have been done with some truly monstrous river in times very ancient. The valley is almost square, the plateau rising up sheer on all sides. And in fact, you get a very rare respite from the sun beating down upon you as you enter. That does quickly sour, though, as just as you ride your camels into the entrance of this valley, you see a figure standing at the far end of the valley. Well, not the far end, but near the middle, around 200 feet down from you. At this distance, it's clear it is in fact a giant. It is a very, very large creature. And this giant has in his hands a truly enormous club that seems oversized even for his massive towering frame. The giant is standing next to a pile of small, to him, but what must surely be nearly human-sized boulders. And standing behind what appears to be the world's most obvious pit.
Well, this
You've
isn't
seen
any good.
basically no vegetation, but you can see scattered across a wide area here what appear to be just scraps of the strange root, almost vine-like plant you've seen for a few days now in the mountainous regions, and just brushes laid across a large area, quite obviously, with hardly any sand even kicked over them. And you approach, of course, you are all on your camels.
Yep.
Just the camels in there. Everyone make me a perception check.
I think a +2 bonus because of or no, it's a different day, isn't it?
Different day, yes.
Mine's too lower, but whatever.
So what is mine?
Oh, mine should actually be too higher.
So, just so I have it right, with improved initiative, that's 5. With the, what's it called? Arcane Temper, it's +1, and then +1 from.
Improved initiative is +4.
Your
Oh,
initiative
plus
is
4.
exactly what it says in your character sheet. Arcane Temper is already factored in, so is improved initiative. That's what the 5 miscellaneous is. But anyway,
What, and then 1 from the belt? Or is that?
that's factored in. That's the one from Dex.
Oh, okay.
Okay, did you give me one creation? Is it just the 43?
Yeah, it should be 2 lower, but yeah,
Oh, so it's 41.
41.
Okay.
Yeah, I accidentally had the Hunter's Blessing.
And mine should be 36.
Mine should be 42.
Everybody roll another perception check and do it right. Just roll them all again. Do it right. I'm not doing 17 mental modifiers on your perception checks.
Sorry, I keep forgetting these boots.
I keep forgetting that Squid can't just do mental modifiers.
Oh, baby, Carnal.
Okie dokie. And as you enter this valley here and pull your camels to a stop, the giant at 200 feet down the pass picks up a large boulder and pulls back to hurl it at you. So also, go ahead and roll me some initiative. So who's gonna have fantastic initiative? It's not a giant. PFSRD, please work. Oh, thank you. You did it. I'm so
Oh,
proud of you.
I'm adjusting mine after because of the boots, because I still need to use the macro for it to add it to the table.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. This giant is pretty slow, and it takes him a bit to line up the toss. So you have ample time to react as he's pulling his arm back here and getting ready to throw. Grigor.
He's so far away. I'm gonna hop off the camel and go just move 60 feet, I guess.
So you jump off the camel and immediately start to rush the giant. Cornel. It's gonna be 1 second before you start doing anything.
So hard to read the numbers when it's
So hard
zoomed
to
out
read in
enough to
general.
see.
Man, I can't read. If I could read, why would I be here?
There you go.
All right. Yes.
How good is Paizo actually giving large-scale maps for battles that realistically would definitely not just start when you're 40 feet away from each other? Holy shit, they did it, guys.
I'm gonna bark skin myself.
Okay. What's your bark skin right now? Plus,
5.
and your basic, your default AC is
23.
still 23? Okay, so you're 28.
Yeah.
Alright, I was just checking, because I'm checking because everything's 13 now.
Yeah. I'm gonna bark skin myself, and I'm gonna call out. There's one to the north. And jump down, run out behind Grigor, and pull out my bow as I'm moving.
Okay. And that's you?
Yeah, that's standard bark skin move.
Fair enough. Alright, Omereth.
My move speed is only 30. Can I actually get them out to move me forward and cast a spell and then hop off?
It would be a ride check if you want me to run towards combat.
Ooh.
These are not combat trained camels.
I moved too
Right.
far. Sorry.
No, it'd be a +2. So yeah, I'll just hop off of him and I'll cast and hop off him. So I'll put mage armor on myself and get down.
Okie dokie. Mage armor, and you hop off. Gration.
I assume the camels have reins, right?
Yeah, I
something.
presume so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll,
I mean,
I'll,
you're
I'll
right.
grab the
They've
reins
got
of this
saddles and bridles.
and hop off and try to walk it over towards the camel that nobody's on, and at the same time say, Omerith, can we get a wall of force for cover?
Alright, the camel will follow your lead as you bring its bridle. Darius.
This is the perfect opportunity to display my newfound abilities that I've been practicing with my meditations. I'm gonna tell everybody I'll be right back. Watch the lady. And
Nobody gonna walk in the pit trap though?
I am.
I love how bad they are at ambushes.
That's bait. I feel like that's bait.
No. I'm gonna teleport to him. And
With a flash, you disappear and appear
yes.
directly in front of this giant.
And I am now with my full abilities coming out. I'm going to open up with a shattering punch, which is my new style strike. Ignores DR. If he has it.
He doesn't, but continue.
Well, maybe I'll switch it then.
That would have been so cool.
He's just kind of, I mean, it's humanoids are the ones that typically don't, unless they're casters.
He's flat-footed against me, so if
He
I
is
hit him,
absolutely flat-footed.
okay. So first strike.
He's currently picking up a rock, and he looks very confused at this dude who just showed up in front of him. And you show up, you just flash out of the air, fist already swinging, and punch him right in the chest as he goes to pick up a rock.
Okay.
And
well,
Medusa's Wrath, my friend.
nice. With the second one, I'm gonna make it a stunning fist.
Alright, so that's a hit. What's the DC on your stunning fist? I mean, you're trying to
19.
stun a giant, so I mean, you're not as bad as I thought. Exactly how stunned are you by this sudden appearance? Not at all, but keep punching.
Okay, well, I have to say, shits and gigs, right?
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert, Fortitude saves the good one. Shocker.
Yeah, there's my
You
3.
are landing hits on hits on hits, though.
My 2 bonus, there's 1. Ooh, okay. Still on the 1. I'm assessed this on, does he ignore
That's a crit
crits?
threat. No,
Alright.
he doesn't ignore crits, he's just a dude.
He's just a dude, he's just a giant dude.
So, confirm that. Confirms.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Now, number 5, lose track! So many punches!
You have a lot of fists now.
1, 2,
So
3.
then just subtract, yeah, and now it's onto your 5 lower, so you're plus 14 fist.
He still got another full one from Medusa.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, do you still have one more full one?
I thought
I don't know how
did.
many
I was
Medusas.
counting.
Oh, does Medusas give you 2?
Yeah, it gives you 2.
Oh, yeah, you still have one more full one then.
Okay, now. Boom.
Alright, now 14 and 9.
Boom.
5
and
hits, 1 crit.
5 hits, 1 crit. Okay.
You have 8 fucking punches with Medusa's Wrath. That's truly disgusting. I love it.
Yeah, real Medusa only gets 3.
8 hits. Well, 8 swings. 5 hits and a crit out of the 8 swings. Pretty Gusta. Dump a bucket of dice on this sad man's head.
Oh man, okay, now. Crit is double, so now I gotta factor that in. Jesus Christ. So, 15.
So, I mean, yeah, crit is double, so it's basically just 7 hits. The tornado of fists. You got the perfect opportunity to try your new teleported full attack immediately.
And
89 damage.
on my last strike, I wink back all the way to Grigor.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
you
gonna give him the
show
thumbs
up.
up.
You show up and unleash a true flurry of punches at this giant. Beat the hell out of him and disappear. He looks injured, but not like he's in any immediate danger of dying. He's pretty large and he's fairly sturdy. He looks more confused and angry than anything, really. And he pauses for a second while he gets Dragon Ball Z'd. And he almost takes a full second to process what even just happened to him. And then continues throwing his rock at Darius.
Oh. It's a hell of a toss.
It was quite a toss. He just hucks this boulder like he's throwing a baseball. And perhaps from the damage he's taken, perhaps from the confusion, this boulder goes nearly 10 feet wide, thudding into the ground next to you. And you can see as it passes, it is almost the size of you. It is a humongous boulder.
Damn.
Before you can react, a second boulder comes flying down from above from a giant perched 80 feet up on the cliff, though this one is angled at Grigor. It hits him, as he was definitely not looking that direction, and as he runs up and sees Darius turn, he turns just in time to see this massive rock land and hit him. And you take 17 damage after DR.
Right?
And make a fortitude save. Okay. Now it is your turn.
I mean, we already hit the one giant, right? So.
Yeah, the
he's-
giant on the ground is already wounded from that flurry, but he still looks like he's fine. He's still just fucking.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him. Gonna hit him with the
What's
mace.
the range increment on your blasto?
120.
Oh, nice. So you're both throwing at each other from just one outside the range increment, because his is 120 on the rocks too. We're just playing the second range increment game here.
Oh, right. No, I
He's
didn't.
140. I mean, you can come
yeah.
close.
No, I have to be in range, so I'm gonna.
Oh,
Well,
no.
such is life.
Get it out of your
Yeah,
system.
unfortunately, as he throws the boulder and you throw your own flavor of boulder back, neither of these connects.
No, I just feel connected on a spiritual level to this man because he throws boulders and so do I.
Yeah, I mean, and you're both
Don't
just
wanna
sitting
hurt
here
him.
flinging earth at each other and hitting just all around. You're not used to fighting at such a great distance. The desert,
That's
as
a
flat
lie.
and featureless as it is, lends itself to much wider ranges of engagement. Cornel. This giant's
Now, it's not going to make much of a difference, but I'll step up much as I can and still attack, and start shooting my bow at the injured one.
Right.
Which, second range increment, not the best.
I am a ranged attack now. I love it.
So you shoot, your first arrow just goes completely wide.
And
Yeah, as long as you got
try
key,
for
you
the
are.
second.
Yeah, true.
Nope.
And the second does as well. Again, the party's probably, you're really not used to shooting this far. Everything you fight is generally right in front of your face. But now you're trying to deal with a giant
I've
hunting
had
boulders
plenty
from
of
like
places
200
where I've
feet
had to do
away.
that.
From 200 feet? I don't think you've ever
No,
engaged something
120.
from 100. When have you engaged something from 120 feet away before this?
Well, any fight where I wasn't in range in the first round. There was like a bunch of fights. There was the Bokrook one, for instance. I had,
No,
like,
the
full
Bokrook
range
one
there.
had some range, yeah. That's fair.
There's been a ton of them. Not like not a ton.
There's
but
not
there's
been a
bunch.
ton. There's been, like, on one
I'm
hand,
just
maybe.
saying it's not to the point where I wouldn't be used to it.
This is one of the more wide open fights we've ever had, though,
Omareth.
for sure.
Okay. I'll heard what he said, obviously, and go 32. Is 30 there, or is it one back?
Whoever it said it was 2.
Yeah, that's where it said it was 2, but I keep forgetting how the diagonals work.
If you use the
It's
measuring
what
tool,
It says it is. Yeah, it counts for the diagonals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you use the measuring tool, it'll tell you exactly where you are.
Alright, and then I'll cast Wall of Force, like he asked me to. I'll use the Extend Rod just to make it even longer than the 1 round per level. So it'll
Okay.
be even more than 13
It'll be
rounds,
2 rounds
just so you
per
guys
level.
know. Yeah.
Well, they don't know. They can't even
26
see
rounds.
it. What do you want?
I'm just, yeah, I'm informing them. It is 25 and then 5 for every 2 levels away from me. And then it is
And it can
13
be, if you want it to be
squares
10
long.
feet high, yeah, up to 13 squares long. So you can block off the whole canyon if you want to.
Yeah, I would like it about here, cutting like that. Wait, that. That way the one above us can't hit us, but Gregor and Cornel can still shoot at the other one, and Darius can obviously just warp whatever he wants.
How does that work, though? Like, how high does that wall go? Because that guy
You
got...
don't know. You can't even see it. You don't even know it's there. You want that?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, no shit.
Now you can see that. It's invisible.
Yeah, you still can't see, but I'll obviously inform them that to their, I imagine they're looking straight at the one to our right. On your left, there is a wall of force blocking the above guy from throwing anything at us.
How good is spaying your pets?
Shut up.
Turns out it's apparently really bad. Anyway. You realize too late that this crude creation in front of you is not a pitfall, but a lair, as an enormous scorpion bursts out of it, surging forwards towards Grigor, and is upon him in the blink of an eye, with the claws and stingers flying. Good news, it doesn't have power attack, so I don't have to do math. Good news for me. Okay, what is your AC right now, Grigor?
25.
Nice.
Not very good.
I mean, because you got the new armor, so it's better than it was.
No, it's worse than it was.
I had you at 23 before.
Then you had me at wrong before.
Okay, well, I don't know where it went up before. But, anyway.
It's been higher than that for like several levels.
Well, it comes in, rushing forward, and you just barely, between your quick reactions and the hardness of your stone flesh, you're able to scrape away from its first claw sweep. But it catches you with the stinger, and then as you're reeling from that, snaps around you with a second claw, grabbing onto you. This is just, I swear to God, it's always you that gets grabbed. And you are like the person who is the worst to get grabbed. So
It's always him to get grabbed because he can't avoid getting grabbed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's not wrong, really. So as this thing rushes up, stings you, and crushes you with one claw, from the impacts, you take 29 damage. And then, as it just constricts with this claw further, it crushes you for another 14, and those are both after DR.
Oh yeah.
Make a fortitude save, obviously it's stinging you.
Yeah. This is one higher.
Okay. Spoiler alert, it's not DC 36.
No, I would hope not.
Gration,
We'd be
the
in trouble.
scorpion has leapt out of the covered pitfall there with incredible speed, surging forth and being able to bring all of its claws and stinger to bear in one fluid motion. You have a camel.
Yeah. Grab the camel here and grab the other camel.
You have two camel.
And turn to Kaklatat and say, can you please hold these or tie them to the other reins? I need to get out there.
Yeah, Kaklatath will climb down and take the reins, and she is old and frail, and if the camels try to bolt, you're not sure if she's going to be able to hold them. But for now, at this distance,
Yeah.
the camels seem to be more just like shying backwards than outright bolting for freedom.
And hopefully they won't bolt, but I just don't want to wander away.
They are certainly not combat trained camels.
Yeah.
Alright. Darius.
Scorpion King. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly 40. You give me that on a flying kick?
I mean, yeah, if you're within range.
No, it kind of goes through Grigor's a little bit, but... Okay. Huzzah.
Can't AOO you because it's busy with both claws holding onto your buddy.
That's what I was hoping for. Yay. Alright. Flying Kiku? Fuck. Assume that's probably not good.
I'm gonna keep on rolling them dice, so I'll tell you how many hits you got at the end.
Alright. Number 2, I'm gonna... I'm gonna try a Stunning Fist. Alright. Number 3.
Let me... Stunning Fist. I'll make the fortitude save real quick, because that one... He doesn't appear to be stunned.
Okay. That was number 3. Mm, 4. 5. Punch him!
Alright, 2 hits. Its shell is quite sturdy, and it's very difficult to beat through with your hands.
Wait. That's definitely not right. Okay. It's I don't know why I rolled it like that. All right, it's 2d6 short. So yeah, there we go. Okay. 23 and so it'd be 30 total.
Okie dokie. You don't feel like it has any DR, although it is sturdy. The blows you are able to land as you just start to beat through its armored chitin are landing, and the scorpion is shying away from you as you hit it, though it is still holding onto Grigor and stinging wildly. Rocks come a-flying. Now the scorpion has engaged you guys. The giant at the end of the canyon here. Woo! Inside one range increment. It's still gonna throw a boulder at Darius. The giant up here hucks a boulder down to Omereth as it sees him casting, but the boulder just, well, goes very over your wall of force, seeing he's 80 feet above you, and that's only like 10 feet high, and it's like 30 feet away from you. That's definitely gonna go over the top of that wall of force.
That's what I was.
So Omereth catches a boulder in the mouth. Darius, again, does not. This boulder hits much closer to home, but it's still got like a full second of travel time from where he's chucking it, and it's gonna be kind of difficult for you to not dodge that, honestly. Omereth, as the boulder hits you, you take 21 damage, and make me a fortitude save. Okie dokie.
Wow, I haven't seen an 11 on a fortitude save in a long time.
Grigor.
I'm gonna adrenaline rush. Thank you very much. I'm gonna try to break free.
I believe in your freedom.
I'm gonna use that little hand, the little staff. Help! I need somebody help.
Not
Alright,
just
so-
anybody.
So you're gonna adrenaline rush, and you're going to pull out the wiggly stick and try to break away.
I
From
dare
this
myself to
scorpion.
get the fuck away from the scorpion.
You're
right. You're pretty good at escape artisting.
It was a plus
So-
5, right, for the stick?
Yes, so it gives you a +5 in the escape artist check.
That
This is,
pretty
however, a
decent, yeah.
quite large
Oh,
scorpion.
nice.
44 enough?
44 is just barely enough.
Wow.
Damn it, I had the dare too.
With the assistance of the stick, you are just barely able to wriggle out of the scorpion's grasp as it extends and just flails wildly, beating the scorpion on all sides. And between that attack and Darius, it recoils back, and you just barely get out of its claws. It just snaps shut as you pull out. Cornel.
We give it just like a little tap and say, "Stop it! Stop!"
Stop.
Believe I am at the perfect distance. I'm going to, as a swift action, cast a spell really fast. And then charge at the scorpion and
Now,
beat it.
does your swift action is the spell that doesn't provoke AOs? Because otherwise it's definitely going to AOO you. Because it's not grappling anymore.
Damn it.
I thought you
Oh,
were casting
for-
burst of speed.
Oh, for is it? Yeah, it'll get an AOO.
That's what I was
at
asking.
it.
I was like, is it
Yeah.
burst
No.
of speed? Does it
No,
get
I-
AOO? Okay, no, you're good.
No, I thought you were saying it was gonna AOO me as I cast, and I'm like, what?
No. Yeah, it's
No,
Singer's
no.
really long, but no.
It shoots it like a fucking gun, and pulls it back. This is fucking scorpion. You know? 'Cause
So,
it's
yeah,
scorpion.
with your burst of speed, you're on this thing in an instant, almost as if you were teleporting like Darius.
Well, no,
You have
I'm-
no time to react and attack you.
No, I'm not using burst of speed. It is gonna
Oh.
get an AOO.
Oh, it does get an. Oh, I thought you were using burst of speed. Okay, well, it totally does. I'm wrong. It does get an AOO. So you're AC 28 right now.
Yep.
It almost gets you. Its claw grazes you as you're running in, but as it's recoiling from this assault, it doesn't quite hit the mark. It scrapes across your armor and closes on nothing. You're in.
I'm gonna charge in.
Hacker voice, I'm in.
Hold my beer.
And I'm gonna beat it with my bow, because I cast bow staff on it.
Okay. Beat it with your bow. Get the business.
Are you trolling now, Corno?
So Corno runs up and starts whacking the scorpion with his longbow.
What in the piss?
It's a legitimate spell.
Never
Kapow!
go full Legolas.
All that gay dude from Mortal Kombat.
That's what you get. That's what you get right there.
That is, in fact, it feels bad, man. Turns out swinging the bow at the scorpion is not the most effective strategy in the world. Overwrath. How's that push to talk working out?
Fun. I didn't have anything to say yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Don't leave.
I mean, I don't know if that's accurate so much as just covering, but I'll
You
allow
guys
it.
are all assholes to each other. It's fantastic.
That's how
What do
we
you mean?
communicate.
What about you, dickhead?
Hey, I'm trying to stay out of it, fucker.
I'm
You just call me
gonna,
a fucker, asshole.
gonna
I'm
pull
not
up.
your fucker guy.
I'm gonna pull out my lightning bolt wand and cast lightning bolt on it.
And it arcs between the three of them and they all die.
Not gonna arc between them.
It hits your
Lightning.
wall of force and doesn't work.
You're gonna cast
That's
lightning
why I
bolt.
was measuring it.
You're
Yeah.
gonna cast lightning bolt right there.
Yeah, to hit the. Like,
Alright, Gregor
creature.
and the scorpion make reflex saves.
Wait, I have.
I'm going to kill you.
Not if I do first.
Force
I thought
lightning.
I have
Except
precise
not all.
shot, so
That
I can't.
definitely does
not
not,
how that
apply to
works.
That's
lightning
the-
bolts. Lightning bolt hits everything in a line. You're shooting a huge blast of lightning through everything. I mean, I'll let you retcon that because you didn't know how that worked, but precise shot is for things that make attack rolls. Lightning bolt's an AoE spell.
Oh, it's so precise shot was only for my touch spells then.
Yeah, it's like disintegrate and scorching ray and
Oh.
finger of death and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's honestly
Lightning
one
bolt
of
definitely just tases the hell out of everybody in the line.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, you could just shoot it above Gregor because the scorpion is large. So you could shoot it over Gregor's head.
Yeah.
That's not the scorpion if you still want to use a lightning bolt.
I'll use disintegrate.
Oh,
should be
baby.
exciting.
Just
It's
not even
time
gonna-
for a touch attack!
Yeah, this should be really great.
So you are not in point blank range, so you don't get the +1. Your BAB is 6. You have 2 dex modifier now. So you are at a +8.
How sad.
You can do it.
I mean, honestly, it might make it.
I mean,
No,
if this is like most
absolutely. If this scorpion does not have 17 touch AC,
Well,
then
that's what
Yeah, I
I'm
was
saying.
gonna
If
say,
it's
like-
like most
absolutely
Pathfinder,
makes it.
It'll work. But
That was literally don't roll a 1. It's like, it's a giant fucking scorpion.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. GMs do weird things. I don't know.
I could see a scorpion having a lot of decks.
Yeah, well, not
Could you?
this one. I mean,
I
like,
don't know, man.
a smaller
Dude.
scorpion, yeah. But
Like-
the
Yeah,
scorpion
small.
is,
Yeah, but
is
that follows
ginormous.
the whole small things of high, not high AC, but high dex.
Dude,
This
even
thing's big.
something, I don't know, man. Anything you could call a bug, dexterous as fuck. Except this
What
one.
is
no,
the
I wouldn't-
fortitude save?
Fort save. It's DC 22. It says.
Roll 26d6.
Oh, shit.
Feels
It
good.
my.
failed.
See you later, Scorpio.
It definitely failed.
Laser beams.
87 damage. With that hits, it disintegrates the majority of the exoskeleton on the front half
Oh.
of the
Oh,
scorpion.
that's really gross.
And
Ew.
you just see like pulsing flesh and
Ew.
tendons underneath as the thing skitters backwards silently, unable to make any sound.
Oh, that's so
It lashes out wildly in pain, in some combination of pain and near death throes. it's going to swing at Darius with one claw. What is your AC right now, Darius? So you have.
I'm fighting defensively with wing. It's 32.
So what's your regular? So you're fighting defensively, so it's 28. So your regular AC is 24 right now,
Yes.
and then 28
With
defensively and 32 wing. He
Yeah.
pops your wing, so you get a free attack.
Okay. Son of a bitch.
What do you mean, son of a bitch? That's a good thing.
I know. I don't like when they pop it though, because then they like to hit me again. Boom.
What?
Build damage.
Yes. Finish him.
You gotta make up some catchphrases when you hit people.
I mean, boom.
I mean, finish him is a pretty good one.
Nah, it's not yours.
So you hit it for
But
12
he's
more
fighting
damage.
Scorpion.
Now that the armor has been melted away, you find it much easier to drive
336.
your
I'm feeling
fist
like
right
I'm
into the
feeling
eyes
like-
of the scorpion.
it's destiny that he
And-
dies.
As you strike it, still
See, I feel
reeling
like Destiny
backwards,
dies. That's like a finisher.
the stinger swings down at you,
Son of a bitch.
flopping lifelessly towards the ground
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
as
that
the
dog's
scorpion
pissed.
collapses.
Woof, woof, woof. Yeah, dude, he knew the injustice that was about to come.
Yeah, he was. My dog was on to the fact you were bring the
Yeah.
fuckery, and he was not happy. 336. Come on, I know.
It is dead. Gration.
It wasn't that.
All right, I'm gonna say, Omrith, point out the wall for Kaklaseth and start running over this way and bump into this wall.
And you run smack into the wall
Where's the wall at? Oh shit!
at the end of the.
Oh, it's right there. Whoops.
The end of the wall of force. Darius.
That was exciting. Time to do some more teleportation.
What?
How
I've
good
been
is it
waiting
basically being
forever.
Skulls to Shackles again, where you can just blow all of your resources in a fight? Because what are the odds you're gonna fight something else today?
Well, you
There's
never
the
know.
thing I wish Darius could do right now, but he probably wouldn't.
No.
Hello.
Yeah, that was exactly it. Thank you.
And does teleporting mess with any of my swift actions? Like, kind of change stance?
Let me check. I'm not positive. The actual teleport itself might be a swift action,
That's
but
What I
let
was
me
thinking
double
it
check
might be.
what action abundant step is. It's as if using this. Oh, it changes because as if using the spell Dimension Door, but then you have dimensional agility, which makes it a move action. Because I think even with dimensional dervish,
it would
I
make sense.
think
if
it's
it was
still a move action. You just also get to full. Oh nope, it is a swift action now. Yep,
Okay.
dimensional dervish made it a swift action.
Whoa.
I thought it was still a move action, just gave you a full attack specifically after you move action, but not it's a swift action now. So yeah, you can't change. You can't do that and change stances.
Okay, so I have to remember that for next time. All right. I'm gonna. No, I'm not gonna do it this time. Hammer blow. First attack on the big man. Hiya. And then I'm gonna punch him in the dick. Oh.
Apparently you did.
Yeah, you are.
That's a crit.
Yeah, that
Right
might
on
be.
the
That's
belly.
He
Flat
didn't-
like a punching bag.
He didn't like that at all.
confirmed that. Cool. Roll me that crit and that hammer blow already, because
All right.
you might take this guy down and still have a bunch of attacks left.
So does Darius have an imprint of a dick on his hand, or does his dick have an imprint?
He's got an imprint of a cestus on his dick.
It's a hand-ish. Not really, but
It's handy.
it is pretty handy.
I'm glad you're making sound effects now.
Yeah, he goes down.
Nice.
Oh, well, that only took me... How many attacks was... That was only 2. I was right here. I still got plenty of...
You have 800 feet. You have more than enough to warp up to the other one and start punching him too.
Big fan.
See, there's the sound effects again.
You like it?
High
I know
level
Yeah, I do.
monks.
you... Monks are crazy, dude. Okay.
I'm not saying I'm against the sound effects. I love them.
Number 3. Oh, that is... Oh, wow. They gave me the 16 on that.
And then
Definitely looks like a 3 on my screen. 13.
Ooh.
give him the fists. Give him the hands. All right, 2 hits on the upper giant.
Right? Bop.
All right, good.
And then see.
Starting amount of damage, which is
Shut
just
no.
a gentle tickle to this guy. The giant, rock in hand.
Now you're just doing it to please me.
Yeah, with a boulder already in hand, sees this happen. Sees Darius in one swift motion that probably takes a second. Kill the scorpion, suddenly be at the other giant, kill him too, and then show up with still enough time left to beat this guy a couple times. He's gonna run.
Badass.
He's
gonna run?
He's running.
That's amazing.
He is Audi 5000. This is not a game he is any longer interested in.
I'm gonna tell stories of Darius for the next like 30 generations. The ghost of the
They
desert.
just won't believe it happened.
Silver Fist, the giant killer.
Guy drops the boulder and just leaves his club there on the ground and just takes off running out of sight since you can't see up over the edge of the cliff here.
I've been waiting since like level 5 for that.
Anyway,
Is there anyone left?
I mean, that
Perception?
dude's running away if you want to say anything about it.
No, I mean you
You
can
can't
run.
see him over an 80-foot cliff, but
No, I mean I'm not gonna chase. I don't have anything to really pursue.
Carnal,
I don't have an eagle that carries me around. Like
I'm just gonna sit here and wish Darius had improved bull rush.
just fucking throw him off the cliff.
Oh, that. You know what? When I first teleported, when I went after the first one, I was thinking if I would have taken that one combat maneuver in Monks.
What's funny is they totally do, and he absolutely tries to do the same thing to you if you go up there and actually stay up there. And
Oh shit! That was.
over
I was kind of thinking that the nest would be like it was actually a pit, and they would try to knock us into that pit.
I'm just gonna move back to the lady and get back to the camels.
Gration.
I'm gonna throw out a perception check and look around.
And you hear this giant, like, hooting and screaming off in the distance in fear as he's running. He's having nothing to do with this anymore.
Not specifically
You
the
roll
nest.
a 1
just-
and you
just
get a
in general.
fucking 33. This is not okay. Looking around,
It's
you can
better
see
than okay.
you can see the other giant obviously laying on the ground next to his diminished pile of boulders with his club, this massive club, bigger than he is, just laying next to him. The scorpion, of course, has had its armor largely disintegrated and then its brains literally punched out of its body. And the nest it came from seems to have been a very shallow pit, only about big enough to house the scorpion. You're unsure if he was trained by the giants or if they just are familiar with how they work and gave it a burrow and hoped that you would run forward and, well, do their job for them. Regardless, you can't see anything else anywhere in the area that poses any immediate threat to you. You just hear the receding sounds of the giant just shouting into the distance as it flees in terror.
All right, well, I'll say I don't see anything, but be cautious.
Darius?
I'm just gonna walk back to the old lady.
Alright. I'll go ahead and close this out then. As he is very much not coming back. That giant is gone. That giant is super duper gone.
All right, well, I'll head back too.
So you head back to the camels, and with how fast this fight took place, the camels barely even had an opportunity to notice that something was happening. So they were far from bolting or really even being frightened. They're just kind of milling about, confused, not really sure what exactly is going on. And as you mount back up, and what are we doing? Just continuing?
Actually, no. I wanted... Omrith, you casted a wall of force, yes?
I did.
And the giants threw the rocks over it.
Yes.
If we run into more trouble, and we're in a position where you can use Wall of Force again to protect us, I would say you should focus on using it to protect the camel and Kaklatath, because I think the rest of us can handle ourselves.
Fair enough.
With Wall of Force, I think you probably know this, but in case you don't, it's a 10-foot stretch per level. It doesn't have to be 10 foot wide. You can make it 20 feet wide and 60 feet tall and make like a giant barricade. It's any arrangement, like a 10-foot square area per level, so it can't be more than 130 feet total square.
I see.
But you can make a higher barrier for something like that, 'cause
Yeah.
he's 80 feet above you, so that rock's right over the wall.
Yeah.
It would have stopped the one on the floor from throwing at you, but it didn't stop the one up above.
Alright. Well, also, I have a lot of rope, and I'm going to relatively loosely tie the camel's reins together. You know, where they can walk fairly distant from each other, but enough so that if we have one camel or have the rope, we can at least lead them without having to collect all the camels in case something like this happens again.
Good idea.
Because, I mean, if they try to run, I mean, we're not going to be able to hold the rope against 3 camels, but I just don't want them to wander. Because in an extended fight, in the middle of nowhere, if they start wandering, we're going to have some trouble.
No, you're right. That's a good idea.
Okay,
So I'll
not a
say
bad plan.
like 20 to 30 foot of rope for them. Other than that, though, I'm good to keep going.
So, as you get back on your camels and head across the valley, or through the valley rather, without even a heal check, as you pass by the giant laying on the ground, he groans and rolls over. He's very clearly just unconscious and not dead. You actually put him through -1, fun fact. So he is just barely unconscious.
Oh wow. Do you care to speak with this guy at all?
I don't want to leave him in the middle of the desert to die, but I also... I assume the one that ran away will get reinforcements and come back, but I'm not sure.
They might. And
It's up to
even
you
still,
guys if we want to try and wake him up and just go our separate ways, but either
If
way,
we do, I'll be able to
I don't want to
understand.
kill him. It's not necessary.
I'll see you guys healing up at all, because Grigor is a little hurt and Umbra took
That's-
a rock to the face too. So.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
that
guys should
18
heal up
was.
if you need it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because I keep the charges on me for my wand.
As you're discussing, Omareth, you are starting to quite rapidly feel pretty ill.
Like, sick to my stomach ill, or can't stand ill?
The latter.
Uh,
Not so much that you can't stand, but like you are starting to, your head's starting to swim and you're starting to feel a bit weak and just generally unwell.
I could use
Not
a...
nauseous.
If someone could check on me, that'd be super great.
Take a look over and figure Cornel will help too. Not that he's gonna need to.
I mean, I can't fail an assist, so if you just want to add a 2 to it.
No, you can, yeah, go for it. Fine by me.
So 31 then?
Yeah, 31 then.
Okay, so a 31 heal check, you can tell that there's nothing could possibly happen that could have poisoned him. There's no conceivable way you can poison a boulder. There's no way he's poisoned. But he is definitely showing symptoms of something being wrong with him. And seeing as it didn't manifest until a minute or two after the fight, it's a safe assumption that it's some variety of either curse or disease. You think of the two. The only thing that happened to Omereth was he got smacked by a boulder. If these giants do carry some sort of disease, it's entirely possible it could have been transmitted through the boulder. Whereas, similarly, you've never really heard of anyone throwing cursed rocks around. Nor do these giants strike you as entirely capable of that.
Oh, well, we would have stopped with the unconscious one, right? Because he had to
Yeah,
heal.
I'm assuming you're still stopped there in the deli.
Okay, I want to go take a look at the rocks. I'm not going to touch them, but I know there was that pile. Inspect them.
Yeah, he's got a pile
maybe they've like put feces on it or something.
As you're looking at it, I mean, even just taking 10 and giving you like a fucking 42 or whatever you get taking 10. The rocks don't look out of the ordinary to you. They just look like rocks. It doesn't look like they've intentionally done anything, like smeared them with feces or urine or anything to transmit diseases like that. So it's entirely possible it's just something that happens naturally. Make me a knowledge local. Whoever has a good one.
I got a little bit.
Because giants are still knowledge local because they're humanoids.
Omereth.
Yeah, let's get the knowing guy up in here. Neither of you are terribly familiar with the tribes of the Parchlands here, and you wouldn't know they were called Ash Giants if you hadn't read the name in a book. Again, this is a very unexplored area, and you don't know anything specifically about them, but it's entirely possible.
We could wake the giant if we can.
I mean, if we surround him
piece.
and heal him just enough so he'll hopefully be smart as he stand a chance to kill him.
Clearly they're not so dumb as to continue to fight even when they know they're going to fail, considering the one ran.
In theory, yeah.
So
true.
I
Can I detect magic on myself?
You don't detect any magic outside your magic items.
Okay.
And of course,
And we could ask him if they're kind of weapons or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we can wake him. I mean, I feel better that way anyway, especially if he is willing to play nice. But yes, we should ask him, see if he knows anything. That's gonna be probably you, Darius, if you can speak to him.
Well, don't they speak normal?
Do they?
We don't know.
you don't know what
I'm
he's saying.
gonna-
Well, we'll find out. If
Rock
you
on
guys
you.
can't understand what he says, and I do, then
I mean,
no.
when the giant ran away, there was nothing. It was all unintelligible garbage, right?
Yeah, he was just like screaming. No, I
Then he was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck!"
He just
I
know, just
mean-
like ah, 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 just fucking running off in the distance. Like it wasn't words.
Mom!
If we're lucky, they'll speak common, but if not, he's magic. I say we wake him up.
So, healing him.
Do we want to
wanna
tie him
take
up or
any-
anything first?
I don't
That's what I
think
was gonna
that'll
ask. We
help.
want to take any precautions.
He is.
My
very
manacles will not fit, but
Tying
I do
him up
have a lot of
will be-
rope.
Yeah, he can be tied up. However, he is a very large man.
I mean, I'll
And you-
just tie his hands together.
It's better than nothing, I guess. But
Yeah, no, I
it
don't
strikes
really.
you as from fighting him. I guess you didn't really fight him much, but for Darius, having been up close with him, it strikes you as if he did not want to be bound by rope. He probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
it's
So as long as we're surrounding him, I think that
yeah,
will be enough.
because
You're gonna heal him
Also-
to what? 2d8 plus 3. 2d8
no,
plus 2.
I'm not afraid that we can't deal with him. I just want to make sure that he doesn't try anything. But honestly, I'm not sure him waking up tied up is going to make him feel any more comfortable than the other way around. Yeah, I'm not going to tie him up unless you guys really want me to.
I think it would just break some rope.
Yeah,
Yeah, most likely it
give,
was
give him a better reason to be agitated. Yeah. Yeah, we'll wake him.
I
Roll me
will
that heal
move him
check.
awake.
Or not heal check, the Cure Matter Wounds one, I suppose. And see.
I mean, we still have a light.
Oh, yeah, or just give him a light. Give him a baby boop.
We could also not surround him, leave him a path to
Little
run if
boop.
he wants, but
There you go, little boop.
Well, he's
Let's-
conscious
let's
and
hope
on the ground and
He
surrounded
isn't
by
too. So, that's not what he says. That's a motorcycle. As you give him the the little boop, the tiny Cure Light Wounds heal, he wakes up, and you're just kind of all standing around him with a circle in a circle is what we're doing. Or just you weren't doing that.
I mean, it's up to you guys. Darius wanted to surround him, but we could leave him open in case he wants to run away. I mean,
Well, yeah, surround, but not like.
yeah, I'm not
Tight
gonna.
up on
I'm
him.
definitely my weapon is not gonna be drawn.
Okay.
I'm
So
trying to.
you
be
stand
friendly.
around him. You're not like clustering with your weapons in hands or anything.
No.
You're just
No.
around him in a loose circle. So as he wakes up, you heal him and step back. He kind of groans, and there's this deep rumbling. Ugh. And opens his eyes and looks around. And just bleary-eyed, he kind of takes in the party. And doesn't say anything. He looks a little confused. And he moves, plants his hands, and pushes himself sitting upright. And he sees the scorpion laying about 100 feet away, further down the valley, very down on the ground.
Mm.
And then he slowly turns his head up to the cliff face, where the other giant was, and doesn't see anything. And he looks back at the rest of you, who are now completely undamaged, except Grigor has a little bit of damage on him, but everyone's completely okay.
It's also this in comparison because I need to update my health.
Yeah, and then he, just in a quick change of heart, his face immediately just brightens. That was a good one! I've never seen the small bones fight like that! What'd you do to Pohop?
Yeah, he ran away.
Run away like the colony is! Of course! I don't know why I expected different. Oh! And he kind of groans. Oh! And goes to try to stand up and like is hunched almost all the way over. And hunched over, he's still taller than the rest of you. And like he's covered in injuries from where he's been just brutally abused by Darius. So you can tell not only is he bleeding from various areas, it looks like you've at least punched several arm and rib bones into oblivion. But he seems unperturbed, really, by the fact that he's at 2 HP, regardless, any no further than the fact that he's literally physically injured and can't move one of his arms. But he stands up, just, oh, that was a good one. Good scrap, the lot of you.
Indeed, good contest, sir. Glad you're of the sporting type.
No, he's still trying to like contain his laughter. So you passed. Obviously, I'll be heading back to my camp now, but you're free to go as you please in the deserts. Enjoy the sands.
Oh,
And
thank
have
you,
a fine
friend.
afternoon.
We
And
appreciate
turns
that.
to, if nobody's gonna stop him, literally just start walking off. to
No.
face the,
Before you go,
Yeah.
big guy, I got a question for.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great.
He just
fight
waves
call.
a hand dismissively. It's like, oh, I ain't got nothing to tell you. Just
I'm gonna walk with him.
Well, yeah,
You
we're
can-
just
you can
gonna
walk with
walk
him.
behind him.
like he's just walking. I mean, you can. He's a humongous guy, but like on your camels, if you could definitely just follow him at the same pace.
Oh yeah, if we're already on the camels, then you follow on the camels.
So you can definitely keep up with him. But he's just going.
Well, I'll say we've got magic. We could help heal you up if you want it. More than we already
Nah.
have.
No, the mother will handle me. It's no big deal. Just scratches and bumps. As his arm is still just hanging limply at his side, and he's kind of just limping forward.
Yeah, this dude's
Darius
on
just whispers to himself, then confused, scratches and bumps.
Our friend here was hit by one of the boulders. Seems like he might be kind of sick, but we don't really know. You know anything? Like,
As if on cue, Omereth loses 2 con and 1 charisma. Just this is it's you're feeling bad enough now. That's how it's physically affecting you. You're down 2 con and 1 charisma. It's not like it's constantly draining. It's just that's the current state of the affairs. You do not feel good. And he kind of nods as he's limply trudging forward. Oh, yeah, of course, weakens like the stingies. I don't know what it is. He can't hold up to proper blows, I suppose.
Do you know anyone that might know? This mother you mentioned, maybe?
He just kind of shrugs the one arm he can move. I don't know much about small bones like yourself, and I doubt the mother does either. Besides, you know, plays in a proper camp. What are you gonna do? We ain't got no small bones to feed you. And he just laughs at his own attempt at humor.
Hey, that's my job. You stop that.
If you want to ask him for directions, I will say under my breath to the rest of the guys.
We've got our directions. I don't think
Alright, let's
be
play
that
from
much
here.
helpful.
Or try to figure out what's wrong with Elmerith.
I mean, we have a potion of cure disease, we have 2 scrolls of cure disease, and I know the spell cure disease now. So
So
What
you
if
have
it's
a
not
whole
a
lot of
disease?
anti-disease shenanigans.
like if it's a disease, I can handle it. If it's a curse or something, maybe Omereth has something that can handle that.
Hopefully, I can cast and not die.
If it's something else, well, you're fucked.
Well, I mean, we should just try to cover all the bases. I mean, surplus of stuff. We could try that. If it doesn't work, then we can lean towards
As you guys are
curse.
talking, this giant kind of veers off to the side of it. And as he's limping over a couple steps, his steps get more and more haggard, and then he just face plants onto the ground.
You okay there, buddy?
And you can hear him just talking through the ground he's laying on. Ah! It's nothing, I'm just gonna take a rest before I head back.
Scratches.
Immobile, just talking into the dirt.
I want to hop off my horse and patch a squat right next to his head. And say, well, how about that healing magic I offered?
Oh, okay.
He just kind of turns his head a bit so one eye's poking out of the sand he's laying in, just across this barren rock floor. It just kind of peeks at you. The size, damn near the size of your entire head. Just, the mother will fix it. I ain't gonna go back and say I've been beaten, healed by small bones.
Your secret's safe with us, buddy.
Is it that much worse than just being beaten by us?
He stops and thinks about it for a second. Then another second. And then a couple more.
Don't use all brain cells there, buddy. All 2 of them.
You can almost see the gears turning in his head.
Oh, the hamster wheel is rolling.
Rubbing the 2 brain cells together, trying to get a fire going.
You can hear the squeaking noise coming from inside of his skull as neurons desperately try to fire. Suppose you have a point. Fine, heal me.
Well, see how that usually works is you give us some information on how to fix our friend, and we'd be glad to. You guys using any kind of poisons or anything?
Like I told you, I don't know what it is. It's just something that happens and we fight weakies. Even if we can't beat them out, they eventually fall over on their own. And can't handle the hits. Nothing more to it than that. And as you look at this man, and you get an opportunity now while he's laying here to really just take a look at his face, you can see he looks real gross. And
Wow, I thought he was not. Oh, Jesus.
no, he's a very
I'm
gross looking.
Understanding now.
No, yeah, no,
Elder sort
I
of
figured he
man.
was ugly.
I think
it
I have
would be,
AIDS.
yeah,
He
I
looks-
think you got herpes.
He looks like a leper.
You've got face
realistically.
herpes, dog.
He threw
It's
herpes at me.
looking at him, it's not a huge jump to assume that these giants carry some sort of virulent disease that, while it doesn't particularly bother them, on a much smaller body,
Yeah.
could be crippling.
Yeah.
Father.
Try
Also-
that.
He must
Also-
have never looked in a mirror.
Not a stretch that they probably don't even understand that's what's happening. He doesn't seem like the smartest guy you've talked to this week. And you've talked
do you
to
think
pretty much exclusively dog people.
Do you think they're called shadow smiles because like anyone looks at him and the smile's just gone?
I think it's
No,
because
it's
they
because
punch
they
you in
break
your
their
smile.
face.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shatter your smile.
Or disintegrate it. No, wait, no, that's what Homerith does.
That's me.
Well, I guess having acknowledged that, we could attempt to cure disease.
Yeah, heal him up and send him on his way.
See
I
how
do
far-
not care to be in his company anymore.
Well,
I no longer wish to stay with this creature. He is yours.
Who wants to heal him? Because I can't. I
Oh,
got potions,
great.
but I'm not the one with the wands.
Someone hit him with a wand.
Cornel. or-
Cornel,
Wait a
start.
second.
I guess Zinner has UMD now, so I mean,
Yeah.
if you, Cornel, you and Homerith want to try to deal with that
Just
disease,
enough to
then-
get him going so he can get to his
Yeah, I mean, we
level.
don't want to send him back, in perfect shape. Then we look like the.
Yeah, he looked like a pansy.
Be sure to tell your friend I said hi, too.
Tell him I'm coming for him next.
And he just
When he sleeps. When
he just
sleeps.
laughs.
That's where I'll
Oh, it's better you catch him than the rest of the tribe.
Here, I'll give him that.
There goes my smile.
I think mine's,
So he takes 41 health, and you can see
he's feeling
and
better.
hear some of the bones crack back together, and some of the skin stitch itself back up. He still looks pretty injured, but he's not terribly bothered by being at 2 HP. He's going to be significantly less bothered by being at 43.
He won't be falling over on the way home constantly, maybe.
Nah, no, he looks
Hopefully.
pretty stupid.
Oh, now that it's healed, let's add some. What's your name? Never got that.
He turns his head the rest of the way out of the sand, so he's just laying with his head, still laying face down on the ground, but with his head sideways, so you can see his whole disgusting face. Cal, you lot even got names?
I'm Gratian. I'd help you up, but don't think I'd be much help.
No,
I don't reckon-
I'd crush you.
Him.
Nobody else want to give them their names?
Oh, I don't want to talk to this guy.
I'm
I'm
Darius,
Rocky.
the guy that punched you a lot.
You! I
Rocky, nice to meet you.
vaguely remember you did some of the magic, like the mother does, and you threw yourself. It was awesome.
Oh, appreciate that.
I
Thank
know
you.
where Darius is gonna
Glad
retire.
somebody appreciates my abilities.
Oh, don't act as though we don't.
What? Yeah, what do you mean?
No.
Don't pretend like I don't think that's the coolest shit.
No, it was great.
I got a friend now, guys.
Your lot could take us, surely you can take a dozen stingies coming at you in the desert while you're doing whatever it is you're doing out here. Oh, if you're coming to settle, we have to kill the lot of you, of course.
We're just passing through.
Oh, that's
Fair
not
enough.
bad.
You've earned that right, at least.
Are there many more dinghies?
Oh, everywhere. I kill them when we catch them, of course. They're useless. And they're all over the desert.
They usually stick around in nests like the one back there, or do they
Oh,
wander?
no, not that thing. That's just a creature. No, the stingies. The one that look half like that, half like you guys, but and he rolls over and sits up and literally like motions tits with his hands with the bigger pots on the front.
Gotcha.
I understand.
Some
dude, I can take
memories,
this.
he says. Nothing for that? Alright.
So they're hostile then?
I don't know if it's hostile or just dumb, running around all high and mighty, thinking they run the whole desert, losing every fight they pick.
You think they'd treat us more kindly than they treat You?
All right, know if they can even talk. Never give them the chance, to be fair.
Alright. Well, do you happen to know of any landmarks nearby? I know I'm giving you a lot of questions, but like I said, we're trying to pass through and we want to get through here as fast as we can.
Landmarks? What do you
I don't
mean?
know, like weirdly shaped rocks or, I don't know, stingy camps?
Anything noticeable outside of barren desert?
Oh, what's the next instruction we're looking for?
After you're coming through this, your next goal is you are going to head southeast for apparently nearly a full, or almost half a week, a little over half a week, until you reach a just field of sand studded with square stones.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to comprehend that.
yeah, he might not understand that, but if there's anything nearby that looks like this, and I imagine he can, well, no, he might not be able to read. I just tell him what it is, and if there's anything like that around, do you know the direction in which we can find it?
He looks like he's just real deep in thought again. Like he's just really confused. And he's had a difficult time putting thoughts together. Maybe he's just really dumb. Maybe he just got the absolute shit kicked out of him. And he's not thinking too straight right now. He thinks for a few
Porque no los
seconds.
dos.
Oh, them's just rocks. I mean, they're everywhere, more or less. And it's the flat sands, maybe. It's a few days' journey. He looks towards the like the eastern end of the valley for a bit, thinks. And just points that way, and after like almost 10 whole seconds, points down the way you guys are going to the valley. That way, more or less.
Well, thank you.
There's nothing there though. I don't know what you're after.
We're just looking for something.
Well, I'm feeling a good bit better, so I'm gonna take the shortcut back to camp.
I assume outsiders aren't allowed in your camp.
Small bones. In the Shadow Spire camp. No, you'd be killed and eaten on sight, of course.
As expected. Well, thanks for not killing and eating us. Well, you
I
tried.
did try.
You
but
did try.
again, as long as you give the camps a wide berth and you don't have no run-ins with the stingies that go afoul, and you keep your heads to yourselves, I won't try to kill you again, at least. Rest of my
That's good
tribe,
enough.
though, can't say the same.
Thank you nonetheless. I'd shake your hand, but I'm pretty sure you'd rip my arm off.
And the rest of you. And he stands up and walks directly towards the northern cliff face. And as he gets to it, he stops, looks at it for a second like he's just deactivated. And then he turns around, walks back over, and picks his humongous club off the ground and slings it back across his back. Right then, heads back over the north side again, and just through sheer brute force, slams his hands into the cliff face and starts climbing up it.
I'll make a couple hand signs at him and then look to Colonel. Can I please get fixed?
I can see what I can do.
Thank you.
No, I kind of like that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed nice apart from the whole killing the weak and eating them thing, but whatever. The customs are difference here. Probably not much food other than, what do you call us?
Small bones.
Small bones.
Small bones.
Small bone.
Right. Shorty's.
I was.
Alright.
I like
Well,
that squid
Cash,
answer. I was
one
asking in
Omerith.
character and squid answered.
Sorry.
There you go, Omerith.
I'm
There
so
is
hard.
a cure disease.
So you still have 2 con and 1 charisma down, but you immediately, as the magic takes hold, do start to feel somewhat better. You're just weakened from the barely 10-15 minutes the disease had to rack through your body. could have been truly terrible if it had been left more time than that.
And here's a wand boop for your con.
You know, have one con and one charisma done.
I mean, you can sleep and get this back, right? Because they're just damage and not drain.
The charisma is damage, drain. The con is damage.
Uh,
So you're down one charisma until you get it restored.
I pull up my cell phone and call Winter.
So, as
You
Cal
say that.
makes his way, just literally ham-fisting his way up the side of an 80-foot cliff, just rearing all the way back and slamming his fist in to make handholds and footholds as he goes. You guys gonna just
that was
continue
actually
your
terrifying.
journey?
We have a scroll of cell phone.
I mean, not helpful.
Scroll of sending.
Yes.
Oh my god, Colonel.
There's a wait for the winner to find somebody to teleport to the end of the desert, and then he has to make the journey to us. She, he, whatever it is now. Goddamn gender benders.
Is it back to she now?
Winter's a guy forever.
No.
I think Squid's referred to her as she since, right?
He said she while still talking to me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's fair.
now it can be
She's
official.
Everything refers to her as a her, because it's she in the book,
Yeah.
god damn it.
So
Yeah,
it's a
anyway.
guy forever.
Nah,
Joe,
she
Joe hates women, so he can't play as them.
Where
That's
what are you
not
guys,
true.
what are you guys doing after your
I mean, I saw your Steam profile. You have nothing but cocks on there.
wonderful interactions with Cal?
Did
The
you say it about me?
Southeast.
Somewhat
I said that about
friendly
Joe.
ash
Oh.
giant.
Yours.
To the southeast.
I'll continue.
Well,
I
Continue the
East
journey.
until you get out of this, Craig.
hopefully this won't ever come up, but if necessary, we might be able to at least get on acceptable terms with a camp of those giants if we fight some of them and everybody sees it, prove ourselves. I mean,
It does seem like the kind of thing that kind of people
they
need.
respond to well. I mean, they'll probably
Yeah.
execute anyone we beat if we didn't kill them, but if it comes to that, hopefully it won't.
It's
But
not
if
a
it
bad
does-
idea, because then we'd kind of have like an army of giants if shit goes down.
No, I didn't mean so much to control them so much as just if we need to ask for directions.
No, I don't mean control. I mean like allies.
Okay. Yeah, if necessary. Anyways, hopefully it won't come to that, but good to acknowledge.
Well, not a horrible idea, but not useful at the
At the
exact
moment?
yeah.
Yep.
But perhaps could be in the future. You continue onward and spend the better part of the rest of the day traversing down this relatively comfortable valley here, since, well, it's not blowing crazy wind at you constantly. You're in a deep canyon, and that at least protects you from the better part of the elements. But you get the opportunity to cast your Grove of Respite and to rest before you've exited the canyon and continue on for, what is this, the 5th day of our desert journey? 6th day of your
Sixth, something.
desert journey.
It's good I didn't even get up with the days.
That's been the 7th day of the journey. So yeah, it's day 6 of you heading through this just literally endless desert. So, as you come out from this crag in the morning, you turn your bearing southeast. And as you come out of this, you can see miles, possibly uncountable miles, as the rocks give way to what you may not even reach within a day of just sand and dunes. You're going to be heading down to the dunes, so this vantage point is only going to last you maybe half of this day before you lose this height advantage. But you don't see any signs of much of anything out in the desert. All you can see in the distance is the same you've seen so far. Mostly rolling sands, partially jagged rocks, punctuated by the occasional just huge flat mesas, and still basically no signs of life.
So you rested, so I got the last con back, right?
Yeah, you got the con back, so you're just down one charisma now. So, you trudge ever onward through the 6th day as nothing happens. and end your night resting at the foot of a large dune, having made your way back into just deep sands. As you progress through the 7th day, the wind starts to kick up a bit. It's far from a sandstorm, but just in an area like this, where everything is just loose, fine grain, even gentle winds cause frustrating and irritable conditions. Restricts visibility and makes you constantly deal with the sand being blown all around and into anywhere it can get. It is truly a miserable adventure. As the day goes further, the winds start to get more severe, as if such open areas just gives them the option to run free and bring just sheer force, as if they were themselves trying to stop your adventure. By the afternoon, which you can't even tell from the light anymore, merely progressing forward becomes difficult, if not nearly impossible. What do you want to do?
Trudging on could be hazardous with our traveler woman. I forgot her name. Yes. So we might need to rest now and attempt to, let this pass.
Yeah, we do need to obviously go, quickly. We don't want to eat through our supplies, but we should wait and see if it clears.
Kaklotath, as ever, is silent, stoic, and waiting, more along for the ride than anything.
It's fucking hibernating on the back of that camel. I'm open to stay.
Yeah, I'm fine with staying.
Seems like the best option right now.
So what are you gonna do? You're just in endless sands and dunes. There's no shelter anywhere near you could tell if you could even see more than 50 feet to find it.
I'm gonna set up our tents in the middle of nowhere. And everywhere here is the middle of nowhere, but
We'll have to just set up whatever we can to try to not be affected by this. We could always use the grove again, because he gets it, he uses it when we go to rest, and so he'll get it at the beginning of the day.
I was assuming that we don't have the chance to keep walking.
Now the grove would, again, make the temperature comfortable. It would do nothing about the sandstorm itself.
True.
Still be the trees. We could anchor the
That's
tents
true.
against better than
You would have
we
the
could
grove
just out in the
trees.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so
If you're comfortable with using the grove, I am. But we should
And it,
probably, whenever it clears, we should go.
So, is that what we're doing?
Grove also has the security of being an alarm spell too, if anything
True.
happens while we're
So
Gotta
you
watch
cast
out for
Grove-
the stingies.
Damn stingies. So you cast Grove of Respite, and the trees and the oasis spring to life. And all the oasis is nearly immediately filled with the blowing sands and rendered almost unusable. Many of the fruits and the trees you rely on for meals blow away in the wind. Not entirely gone, but you'll be relying on rations a little more today than you usually do. But the trees do give you somewhere to anchor your tents, and the magic does at least make the temperature tolerable, if it does nothing about the sand itself. It's difficult to get the tents pitched and anchored in such conditions, but you press on until you do manage it. And once you do, you're all able to huddle inside in some semblance of protection from the elements. And, well, weather the storm. You wait a few hours until the winds die down somewhat, down to the stillness that is standard for the desert, and just the gentle gusts that occasionally blow across, giving you no relief from the heat. It's feeling like a burst of steam when they hit you. But it's the best you get in the parched lands. Continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's pretty clear.
Yeah. Without the storm, we need to get moving again.
It's
Yeah.
late
Can't waste too much
afternoon
time.
by now, so if you want to, unless you want to travel through the night, which I mean you did rest for the better part of a day. If you want to travel, if you don't want to travel through the night, you're not going to make a ton more progress today.
Is there any way? With the wayfinders, we can still just travel through the night because we can just still see the direction we're going, and we'll stay. We're roped together on the camels.
Do we have an additional grove that could be cast when we need to stop?
I'm spontaneous, so we can get like 4 of those a day if need be.
Okay, I don't know if you have the slots. I'm open to keep going, but of course we don't want to get to the point where our sleeping is going to be happening during the day and the night. You know, we want to try to sleep at night. So, I mean, we can keep watch, obviously, but with Cackletath being so old and frail, even keep
I'm not
watch,
sure
I'm
you said
not
this,
entirely
but
comfortable with.
It's still cold as shit on Galarian Desert, right?
Yes,
During
it's
the night.
It's below freezing at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it's like 110 during the day. And actually, the parched lands don't get that hot, but they get well below freezing at night.
Yeah, I mean 110 during the day means nothing to me.
Yeah, and
Pretty hot.
the respite just makes it warm.
Yeah, it
when,
makes it
when it's
temperate.
cold. Yeah.
I'm into it. Think we can handle the cold.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably.
I have a potion of
can-
other elements that I could give to Cackletath.
That's
We
an
can
idea.
travel
That
what
would
we
help you deal-
can, and if
That'd
it
make your deal with the freezing perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And the
we
rest
can
of us,
travel what we
if
can,
we
if
think
it
we
gets
can
to be
deal with
too
it,
much, we can
we'll
stop.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I would say if we're going to travel through the night, unless for some reason Cackletath in particular we feel needs to stop, you can keep watch us, and we can try to use that to get back to sleeping at night without getting terribly fatigued or anything for staying up for a long time.
So, you continue onward. You've got a bunch of various safeguards you can use to deal with the not sleeping. And you can definitely keep watching just right on a camel as long as conditions aren't super severe. You get the Endure Elements potion for your Cackletath. You can make it work. You guys continue heading through the rolling dunes. And as the sun sets, you still press ever onward to the southeast. It gets freezing, but you give the Endure Elements potion to Cackletath. And she's totally okay. The rest of you, however, it's very, very cold. So everybody make me a fortitude save.
Right. I assume it's one of these cases. Right? It's one. That's not a one.
After the sun goes down, although it's freezing, it doesn't have any physical effect on your bodies. You're still marching perfectly okay on your camels through the desert. As the night
Camels seem
passes,
okay?
The camels seem okay. I mean, they're built for this. They live in the desert.
Yeah,
They don't
no,
have a huge problem with this.
Just being sure.
Yeah, they're fine. Make me a second fortitude save. Zinner,
What?
fortitude save.
I rolled it. It's 23. I mean, I rolled a 2, but it's 23.
No, we need to roll a second
fortitude
one.
save?
Oh, second one. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
We're confused as hell.
I was
Yeah.
like, get another one, yeah. Will you give me uno mas? Alright. And a third fortitude save.
Oh, for fuck's sake. How many fort saves do you need?
I don't know
I
how
assume
many
this
hours
is the
are
last
there at
one?
night.
Oh. Yeah.
Darius is the one that starts to be affected first.
Son
You
of a
take
bitch.
5 non-lethal damage from the cold. So you're definitely starting to feel it. It's so cold it almost burns. Do you want to? Are you gonna say anything? Because I mean, that's 5 non-lethal damage isn't noticeable. Everyone else is okay. You're real cold, but you're fine. You gonna say anything to the party? You're gonna keep going.
5 non-lethal, he wouldn't freak out. We would keep going.
Everybody make a fortitude save.
I rolled a 19 and 18, a garbage one, and now a 20.
Yeah, you fortify yourself. No, I let this cold deal with me. As it's reached around midnight now, it's the darkest it's going to be and the coldest it's going to be. But still, with no respite, the cold starts to set into your bones. Umreth takes 3 non-lethal damage and Cornell takes 1 non-lethal damage. Make a fortitude save.
We're still
You can
going.
you can use survival to give yourself a bonus against this, can't you?
Is that one of the things you can do with survival?
I believe so. Trying to look up the DC right now.
Survive in the wilderness.
Yeah, gain a +2 bonus on all fortitude saves against severe weather.
Oh yeah, you can get a +2. Yeah, so make a survival check, and then you can give that +2 to possibly multiple people.
Bam.
I mean, if I get a... Yeah, I give it to everybody.
Yeah, so everyone
Nice.
gets +2 on their saves.
Nice.
So with Cornell now realizes it's getting really. What's yours, Cooper? Cornell now realizes. Oh, there it is. It's getting real cold, and as he notices it's starting to affect him, you can safely assume it's starting to affect the rest of the party, who's not currently under the effects of an Endure Elements potion. And he starts to just give out some. I'm not gonna say it's orders, some advice. Keep everyone just make sure to keep themselves moving. Cuddle up real close on your camels. Share body heat. It's cold. Don't freeze to death and die in a spectacularly stupid way. Make another fortitude save.
Fucks. I am sick and tired.
I forgot my bonus for that one.
Do we want him to do his thing, survival check again? Or is that a one-time deal?
We'll get all the fortitude saves and then I'll
Okay.
have him roll survival and then put 2 on people. Gratian, how? Actually, I'll just let you all have the +2 permanently now. What's yours supposed to be? Gratian?
Mine should be 2 higher. Because it's 2
So-
for the survival.
And then 2 more for being instructed.
It's once every 24 hours you have to do the survival
okay.
check, so we're
So yeah, you
good
do
for...
it. Gratian, you
tonight,
take
at
4
least.
non-lethal. Cornell, you take 2 non-lethal. Make another fortitude save.
This
The time for keep watch is long past, and you are riding now, just trying to make it through this freezing night and still make progress.
Goddamn right.
Ooh.
I'm fortuitous as fuck.
Are we stacking our own survival rolls and his?
No, you can only be affected by 1.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just making sure.
So you just get the bonus +2. Cornell, you take 2 more non-lethal. As the sun starts to rise, take 1 more fortitude save. It's cold, yo.
Rolled fucking fire for these.
Gratian, you take 6. Cornell, you take 6. Omarath, you take 4.
I don't really know what the buzz is about, I'm gonna be honest.
Igor is literally made of rocks. The cold does not affect him, which is ironic.
Cackletath
because
is still
cold
okay?
Definitely destroys rocks. Endure elements last 24 hours. Cackletath's
No,
fine.
I know. I just want to be sure.
Yeah,
She's so
she's totally
fucking
okay.
old that it's like I don't give a fuck what she's
Nah,
enchanted
she's
with.
alright. She's
Just like-
uncomfortably cold, but she's fine. It's nothing is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And as the sun starts to rise, as you've marched through the night, you are all feeling tired, not mechanically fatigued or anything, but definitely tired as that's about the upper limit of what Keep Watch can handle, is riding through, literally make fortitude saves freezing cold. But I guess it's not necessarily any worse than sleeping through it. As the sun starts to rise and you crest a massive dune, you see spread out before you blank, flat sands with a smattering of weathered stone blocks, nearly squared, as if some great buildings had once stood here. You're sure this is the next of your landmarks. And this is about where we're going to end here, but as you ride your camels down into this expanse, you can't see very far because there are a lot of these stones and they break up your vision so you can't see more than a couple 100 feet past just the scattering of these stone rocks. But early into the morning, as you ride down, after maybe an hour of riding through the expanse here, still towards the east-southeast, you see a Gertablulu come around one of the corners of one of these boulders, about 200 feet away. She's armed with a humongous longbow. I mean, I guess not humongous. It's just large. She's pretty big, so it's sized for her. A large-sized longbow, and clad in leather armor, with a spear slung across her back next to the quiver. She has her bow in one hand, raised straight up in the air. No arrow knocked. And after her, another Gertablulu rounds the corner in the same pose. And then a third. And they turn, moving towards you. We'll leave that there for now. And we can see what these Gertablulu want to do next week.
Do Gertablulu use large-sized weapons?
They're large-sized creatures.
Yeah, but I think Driders at least, and like centaurs.
Oh, because the people part of them is regular size that they use medium-sized weapons. No, I guess they're still, the people part of them is still giant because they definitely use. Oh, maybe they are medium-sized weapons actually.
I was gonna say if it's a large size.
You're totally right. You're totally right. They actually do wield medium-sized weapons.
Okay, good. I was wondering because if they're using large-sized weapons, does deflect arrows still work? If it's a large arrow?
Yeah, because it's still a standard projectile. It's just from a larger bow. But no, you're actually totally right, Cornell. They use medium-sized weapons. The humanoid part of them is only slightly bigger than people-sized. They would be like,
I just remember
if they
that
had
from
regular
Driders.
legs, they'd be probably like 7 feet tall. Like they're
orcs.
bigger, but they're not large. Yeah, exactly. It's the only large-sized because of their humongous scorpion bodies. So yeah, they actually do have medium-sized weapons. So they have normally sized longbows that you could totally use should you want to. And people-sized armor even that you could use, although it wouldn't have any leg parts. But I guess Pathfinder just glazes over that, and you can just not have pants and still have all the benefits of leather armor. Because I'm pretty sure there's no greaves to go with this set.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
I mean, breastplate is literally breastplate, isn't
That's
it?
true. There's literally just breastplate, which is just a chest piece. And that gives you that. So, armor do what armor do. Alright, regardless of fucking shitty technical issues and Chrome being the angriest thing in the goddamn universe, that's progress. We're gonna fight a thing. We broke the dry spell of not fighting anything for 2 or so sessions.
It was a cool fight, too.
Except
you
Joe.
actually get like... Joe fought. He got hit with a rock. He demonstratively fought something.
No,
That's
but
part
I'm
of
saying
fighting.
last week Joe got to fight.
Oh, that's true, I guess. Yeah, Joe got to beat up a bunch of fucking... A bunch
I
of
didn't get
dog
to fight in
people
that session.
in an alley.
Cack.
Well, you got
Me
you
neither.
were kind of
Technically, I rolled 1. That was it.
you were the camel settler.
The camel whisperer.
I mean, honestly, I really like dealing with harsh conditions and stuff, and like having to eat and stuff. So
Yeah.
like, this kind of session is right up my alley. I love this kind of stuff.
I'm
It's
so
enjoyable.
mad.
I like
You
everyone.
want
Yeah,
else.
there's
like
something that-
actual adventuring campaigns rather than
Yeah, I mean,
going from city to city.
It's fun. Like I mean, like in Fallout, it's just like I like survival mode. It's just fun having to keep up with your resources and stuff and keep yourself alive.
Yeah, and actually have to bring
And, like, really
literally
bad conditions.
full bag of holding, full of food and water and just stuff to survive as you pass through this desert. And it's not all just combat. There's a lot of just dealing with the desert being a horrible place. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Using survival for things.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
actually using survival is like, holy fuck, I didn't know. That
it's
was
definitely a little bit easier because you're 13th level character, so you're just like, oh, we have to rest for the night. Go for rest.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
it is way easier, but it's still fun. I like it.
It is a nice
No, yeah,
change
it's-
of pace for sure.
Yeah, that's what I think Strange Aeons does extremely well, on the whole, is keeping everything fresh, and it's not just dungeon crawling, or it's not just RPing. Like, it bounces everything around a lot. Like, we got one super dungeon with the Mysterium, which was just straight up face slugging, going in and just fighting stuff for like 3 or 4 sessions, and then Okano is totally different, where that's a heist and almost completely RP. Now we're in the desert, which is survival, trying to find this city, dealing with not only the environment, but the assholes that live here. And you've met Asshole Brand A, Ash Giant. Next week, we'll start out with our introduction to Asshole Brand B, the Gertzablilu, who are... well, they're there.
I mean, apparently they just want to fuck us, and their presence makes it impossible to have your erection go away, based on that Monster Girl encyclopedia thing that we found.
I didn't actually
Oh,
click on
thank
the link, so...
If you click it, it then links you out to another thing that it definitely, like, no joke, just has straight up porn on it.
I'm not really surprised. It's called the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. I don't know what
Yeah.
else you'd expect to find from that.
Oh no, I don't, but it was pretty memes.
Fair enough. All right. So that's it for this week. Next week, you're what, day 9 in your journey? So you're over halfway there. We should get the Neruzabin next week, and then we can start getting into Book 5 in earnest, because this is kind of like the Book 5 prequel, I guess, with the Parchlands or the Desert Adventure, the intro, before we actually get into the magical adventure that is the entirety of Neruzabin. Oh, baby. I'm ready. Are you ready for all kinds of unique encounters? Because I'm ready for all kinds of unique
I mean,
encounters.
I'm ready to hang out with this dude on the cover. Like, I can't stress enough. Holy fuck. Might be the coolest design thing in Pathfinder. Just visually.
Man, I want to talk about him, but
I mean, of course not.
Obviously.
I mean, there's certain clues as to, like,
whether or not it's friendly.
more like
I'd say it's
what
pretty
its
obvious.
significance is as a portion of the campaign.
Wait, say that again?
Like what it is, I guess. Not entirely, but it's like,
What do you think it is?
I mean,
You know what it is.
I mean,
I'll
it's
tell you if
clearly
you're right. I'll tell you if you want to
well,
know.
it's clearly very deeply connected to Hastor. Like, absolutely.
That's a
not
pretty
just-
safe assumption. It's very...
Well, not just for the color, but also his weapon.
That's a fairly safe assumption.
Yeah.
It is definitely a very strong worshiper of Hastur.
Who is really cool looking. Yeah, apart from the gross mouth. He's got pointy-toed
That's
armor
what I
shoes,
said
which are awesome.
too.
I love them pointy toes.
I can
just-
tell you something that's, let me see, how far in do you need this dig hole? Because I think it's actually pretty far. Because if it's like a 1-session minor spoiler, I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm just going to tell you a thing about them. And if you're going to meet them next session, it's not like it's a big deal, but I don't think you are. No, I think this is the vast majority of the way through Book 5. Yeah, it's going to be a hot minute. So your minor spoiler is it's going to be a while.
Yeah, I mean, fine. I'm very excited to meet it, though. It, I mean, it looks
It
cool,
looks
but
like a problem. I can assure you that.
Yeah. He's
it'll
cool
be-
looking. Well, it also just, like, there's interesting reflection of Gratian as a character.
Oh, kind of. It's sort of like a super fucked up and evil version of Gratian, kind of.
I mean, sort of a Gratian that made a slightly different choice.
That
You know?
can wield a dragon.
The opposite choice. Instead of hating
Yeah, so-
aberrations in his store, just dedicating his life to him. So,
I mean, it's
It's two sides of the same coin.
okay. I mean,
I mean, two sides of
I
it.
can't
if you
say
read
it
the
wrong because
character
that doesn't mean
backstory-
anything.
Well, I mean, if you read the character backstory, because I don't think you have read, because like Gratian has a full one written out.
I read most of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Fun
pretty
fact, because we've already
Some
passed it,
hairy.
and I was really, really disappointed. Monica's the chick who summoned all the gibbering mouthers. She's from Thrushmore. She lived in Califas, and she was with a cult for a while. Not like a hysteric cult, it was a completely unrelated cult. But her instruction, was the one who summoned all the gibbering mouthers that overrun your hometown.
I'm kind of glad we missed it, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of had like a hook in there that was not like, I didn't want it to be super obvious. I didn't want to like throw it in your face, but she was from Thrushmore, and I was like, and she's a summoner, and I was like, this is a connection I can't pass up. This is asking to be done.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, a lady hanging out with slavers, just acting retarded. I don't know. I'm not bothered missing that.
Yeah, still a pretty powerful wizard though. She's a 12th or 13th level wizard. I can't remember which. She's not a total bitch. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't think she would be, but
I'm gonna hop off. I will see you guys next week for
Toodaloo, champ.
Dances with Scorpions. Good day, friends.
Peace.
Dances with Scorpions.
And chat, I will see you guys Friday. Cupheads are coming out. We're gonna try some new shenanigans. That game looks like it is going to be a ridiculous amount of fun. And I'm super on board with that. So Friday, 4 p.m. EST, we fuckhead with Cuphead. Thank you for hanging out, guys. Thank you for your support. I will see you then. Good night, guys.